morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome to BMS News. See, sometimes I just laugh when some persons say that P2B's lawyers didn't present their case very well. I know no real Obidients will be saying that. But guys, I want to let you people know something, that this is a deliberate act that these guys did. Recall when P2B's lawyers were telling Tsammani, the injustice Tsammani, telling her that INEC refused to give them the documents which they require, even to an extent that the so-called Justice Tsammani have to ask Labour Party lawyers what they expect them to do. Imagine that in a country like this. Guys, we know that we are not going to get justice from these lawyers, from this court case. But P2B just want to follow the legal way to expose the world how corrupt Nigerian judiciary they are. Guys, I'll be dropping this video for you to watch. This is an interview Channels TV conducted yesterday with Tanko, the spokesperson of Labour Party, who is also a star witness of Labour Party. Guys, look at what he has to say. Look at what he has to say to tell you that this was a deliberate act that these guys did. Just watch this video, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell in order to be getting our updates. Just watch.
In fact, they did not find any credence in the processes and in the filing. In fact, they even make a caricature deliberately of some of the lawyers, which is absolutely unnecessary. For me, it's unbelievable, because it only shows, and my fear is this: making it legal. We legalize illegality and hiding under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I want to say here clearly, we are law-abiding and we believe in our judiciary. But in believing in our judiciary, we expect our judiciary to be free and fair in their judgment. Not to say the least, that the judgment also went ahead to say there's even manipulation of the petition evidence that was presented. I mean, it's quite unheard. The danger here is that it sends signal to every Nigerian that illegality pays, that democracy is put into the dungeon. Anybody who can commit any form of illegality can become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as long as he can use the judiciary and he will be able to protect himself, and then it will be pronounced so. And that, for me, is dangerous for our democracy.
Let's look at some of the reactions, Mr. Tanko. Let's take it one after the other. Some of what the judges said yesterday. One of it is the fact that they complained, or they submitted yesterday, that there were social media attacks. There were some inferences being drawn outside of the court, but evidence were not properly laid and adduced in court to prove the case.
Now, when we made applications that they should televise the proceedings live, right from the beginning, there were applications that the proceedings should be televised live. Now, that will have given an opportunity for Nigerians to see whether we presented the right evidence to the court or not. But on our part, from the Labour Party, we make sure that every processes were recorded and reported live as it's happening in the court, just to give Nigerians a kind of a sense of visuality of what really took place in the court. Now, our judges, yourself and myself and every Nigerian, were very much evidence of what happened in Lagos. We saw proof where our our voters were intimidated, ballot boxes were snatched, ethnic profiling took place, and that particular issue was presented in that court for Nigerian people to see. But yet, we were told that that particular evidence is not enough. It's not enough to invalidate the election. What it simply means is that, but it is enough to show some part of this country that they are not wanted. Or it is enough to show that if you have money, you can manipulate the system.
Mr. Tanko, on that point that you touched on, this is what the tribunal said yesterday, or the court said yesterday, that the allegation that agents of the petitioner, which is include yourself, your party and Mr. Peter Obi, had their ballots, their votes disrupted and suppressed, and the petitioners, according to the court, said video recordings will be tendered as proof. But the court said this was not done. Was there any issue of not able to provide video evidence of the disruption or suppression of votes where your party and your candidate are accused or are alleged so?
Not only did we present the evidence, in fact, our witness was one of your reporters that covered that particular event who stand as a witness, and it was presented to the court. So we did not manufacture anything. But the court went ahead to also say that the report that we submitted and the evidence that we submitted were manipulated by us. And that is funny to me, because right there as we spoke, don't forget, I am the star witness in that court. And I know for sure that we have evidence which we prove to the court that where the IRF was supposed to transmit result and did not transmit that particular result, there was only picture of human beings. There was no even result. But in any case, the court actually said that the IRF does not really matter in this particular case. So the question is, the humongous money that taxpayers paid to ensure that such a technology was put in place for the credibility of the election was totally a waste. And at the same time, the international community who supported this particular process of ensuring there is clarity and there's no ambiguity in terms of reporting the result was a waste. Painfully, while the elections of the Federal House of Representatives and the election of the Senate, which we did not contend because it followed and passed through the threshold of what INEC said it will do for the Nigerian people, and we believed INEC. That particular result was accepted by all because the result was transmitted as real time and there was no question. But the question remained, why was it that that particular report, the result of the presidential election was not transmitted? And it was deliberately so. And we were able to present, and in fact, not only present, most of the observers clearly show that there was a deliberate attempt to cause or glitch that particular process in order to manipulate the system. Whatever decision that has already been made by our judges need to be looked into. Now, the fear here is this. Our younger ones are witnessing this particular show, and they believe strongly Nigeria can be better, but not in this way. Not in this way for us to justify something that me,
Tanko,
you, and everybody knows.
Yeah. Let me ask you, do you perhaps regret or imagine that some of the social media attack on the judges could have hurt your case, because you will see in the tone of the judgment of yesterday from the judges, they did not take it lightly.
In fact, it is amazing for the learned judge to even make reference to it, because we expect that the learned judge should be able to look into those particular areas of eye on the judiciary, for example, there are precedents that have shown to Nigerians that we needed to trust the judiciary. And in fact, I, for one, thought that the judges would take that particular encouragement, because I call it encouragement, and courageously so, to give courage to our judiciary to be able to do the right thing. Because you see, walls has ears. People can see, people can hear. Once there is a discussion between two persons, that particular information can filter one way or the other. And don't think Nigerians are fools. They are not. They are watching and they are listening. For them to have made this particular pronouncement, eye on the judiciary.
But was it right? Was it right, Mr. Tanko, for example, if the judges don't feel that it was okay, do you for a moment, with the benefit of hindsight, now that this has happened, do you think that it was necessary for the judges to have been attacked on social media and allegations being leveled against your supporters?
Not at all. I would never support attacking our judiciary or our judges in any way. And that is why my position is clear on the encouragement aspect of those particular pronouncements, not as attack or an abuse. And in any case, our judges and the judiciary have the right to have put a caution, because all of us are under this particular judiciary. One day or the other, we will find ourselves in the court for adjudication. And we want our judiciary to be above board. In fact, they are supposed to be the last hope of the common man. Unfortunately, they have been inculcated and imputed into our electioneering system, which we need to find a way of eliminating, because we are putting them in the line of danger. The processes are very clear in Nigeria today. When you want to start an election, all you need to do, go for a propaganda at the early stage using the media. When you do, go to the election, use stocks, use any means of manipulation, use any means of money to put yourself in position of power.
Tanko,
Once you put yourself in the position of power, then you are asked to go to court.
Let's
and